Hello guys, welcome to the Electron Story. Today the topic of our discussion is this. We are discussing the R and C component when it is connected to the AC circuit and how this behaves. What is the voltage drop across the R component and what is the voltage drop across the C component? So let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to a brand new episode of Electron Story. Today we'll discuss on capacitor and resistor in a AC circuit. So what I'll do is I'll start with the basics. So for this what I have done is I have tried to open DC motor to just to understand, make you understand. So if you see this is the armature and there is a coil in between. So there is an armature in this coil, and if you see this rotates like this. So I'll try to explain you with this in which how AC is generated. So if you see here, there is a magnet also. This magnet is very important. This I have depicted this magnet here. So let's take an example. So in this circuit, if you see, this coil is rotating like this. Okay, this is the rotation. The rotation is like this. So basically, the coil is rotating, and as per the rotation, there is an AC current generated. So I'll tell you how it is generated. So now moving ahead, if you see the phasor diagram and try to explain the AC circuit. So take this armature and put it here. Okay, now see, so let's say this is 0 degree and this armature is rotating like this. Okay, as per the rotation there are angles. As per the rotation there is angle which is changing. Okay, now as per the angle change there is a AC current which is generated. So if you see, you imagine a rotator point like this. Now the speed at which this particular armature is rotating is like this. So speed is omega, which is 2 pi f. This is the omega part. And at every instant it is covering a certain degree. So if you see here, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330 and 360. So it's actually rotating at 360. So if you plot this phasor to a time axis graph for AC, you will see when it starts from 0 it is here, when 30 it is here, so you get a sine wave, and this sine wave is actually represented by the equation AT at any point t. What is the voltage? Is the maximum voltage into sine of omega t plus pi. Pi is the phase. So at this point, what is the phase shift? 0. So we'll put it as 0. So for standard sine equation, what is the value? AT is equal to AM sine omega t. This is the value, and phi is the phase. Now let's take an example of a resistor connected to a AC circuit. Okay, so this is the Vm sine omega t. I told you that V is the instantaneous voltage and Vm is the maximum voltage and sine omega t. So this is the wave in which comes up. So this is the resistor which is connected in the circuit, and how does the circuit behave when a resistor is connected. So this is what we'll study. We'll then study the capacitor and then we'll study the RNC circuit. So now in the case of a resistor, what you see, the sine wave goes like this, which I explained you, and the current also follows the wave. So there is no phase shift. So in terms of phasor, if I want to explain, I would say the current is in the same phase as the voltage. So if in the x-axis I draw the current, and the same axis would be the voltage. So this is the current and voltage relation for a pure resistive circuit. There is no phase shift in a pure resistive circuit. Now we'll talk about the capacitive circuit. If you see, the same sine wave is applied across a capacitor. Now we have removed the resistor and put a capacitor here. So how does the current behave and a voltage behave when we have a capacitor? We know that in my previous lecture I have also explained that voltage, if it is a sine wave, the capacitor doesn't block it. It doesn't pass through it, but there is an alternating voltage. It goes like this, comes like this, then goes like this and comes like this. So actually the capacitor doesn't stop the flow. Now how we'll understand what is the current and voltage phase for this capacitive circuit. So in the case of capacitive circuit, inductive circuit, resistive circuit, let's try to understand this. So in case of a capacitive circuit, what happens is the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. Why? So because say suppose you have a capacitor here. So whenever a capacitor is connected to a voltage source, when the capacitor starts charging, initially the current is high for the charging part. So current is always leading and voltage comes afterwards, because of which if you mathematically calculate it, you get that the current is always leading the voltage by an angle of 90 degree. Whereas in case of a resistor, the current and voltage are in phase. So if you see this diagram which I have created, you see current and voltage of a resistor are in phase because there is no phase shift. But in case of a capacitive circuit, the current and voltage are at a phase shift of 90 degree. You have seen this. So what I'll do is, I'll move this vector as per the vector addition rule. I'll move this vector here. Okay. Then how would it be? It would come like this. Okay. Then you have this part, and this part. You can very well identify this part as a Pythagoras theorem. So what the Pythagoras theorem says that V square is equal to VR square plus VC square. So V is equal to under root of VR square plus VC square. So this is the effective V voltage. This is the voltage. Similarly, through this effective voltage, V is equal to I if into R. So similarly, you can have the resistive components of this particular circuit. So moving with the same phase shift which I explained you, I have drawn a circuit. Okay. Also, what I have done is I have tried to depict the circuit in the breadboard where R is there. You have a capacitor. We have put an electrolytic capacitor, and we'll be applying a 14 volt AC voltage, 50 hertz. Okay. Then the RC component would be studied, and I'll show you what is the voltage across the resistor and voltage across the capacitor, and you'll see some deviation. That is what I wanted to explain in this. So if you see now, the resistor is there and the capacitor is there, which is also mentioned here. The resistor is of 325 ohm and you have a capacitor of 47 microfarad, and the voltage we are applying is 14 volt. As you know that whenever you have a RC component, the effective part I have calculated here, and you have a R component where current and voltage are in phase, whereas in the capacitor component, current leads the voltage by 90 degree, and we have found the effective voltage. So if you see R and C component there, we have depicted here. So what is in my previous lecture I spoke about what is the impedance of a capacitor. Impedance is reactance, that is the resistance of the capacitor in the AC circuit. So the formula is 1 by 2 pi FC. Okay. So to get the resistance across this capacitor, and that is known as impedance. So how do we calculate it? 1 by 2 pi FC, where pi is the pi constant and F and C are the frequency and the capacitance. What is the frequency in this case? 50 hertz, because we are taking the voltage from the direct source. Okay. So I'll be using a transformer which will convert the 230 volt to a 14 volt AC. And what is the capacitor? The capacitor value is 47 microfarad. Now in this case, if you calculate the XC value, you will get to know, once you substitute this value F and C, you will find that 68 ohms is the reactance of the capacitor, this capacitor reactance. Similarly, what is the resistance of this resistor? 325 ohms. Okay. So this is the way you have A and B as a component as 68 ohm and 325 ohm. Now there is one thing, you cannot, when you know that resistor, when two resistors are in series, you can add resistor A and resistor B, but in this case you cannot add because there is a phase shift, I told you. Now if there is a phase shift, then you have to go by the phase formula, which I will explain now. So what is the phase formula? Phase formula I told you, this is the Pythagoras theorem. So this square is equal to this square plus this square, which is Z. This is not impedance. R square, resistor square, plus impedance of the capacitor. So you do it, Z is equal to under root R square plus X square, and then you get R square plus XC square. We have calculated the value of R and we have calculated the value of XC. Then you have to square, so you get the value as 332 ohms. Now we calculate the value of VIR. So what is the current coming out? 0.042 ampere. So in this circuit, if you see, in this circuit I keep the circuit here. Okay. The resistance is 325 ohm. The capacitor is 68 ohms. Okay. Now what is the voltage across the capacitor? We have calculated. It would be the current flowing into the impedance of the capacitor, 2.85 volts. So if I put a multimeter here and see, it will come to close to 2.85 volts, and when I try to connect the multimeter here, you will get the value as close to 13.42 volts. So the total voltage which will come out, is 13.42 plus 2.85, it is 16.27. But you see that the applied voltage is only 14 volts, whereas there is an increase in the voltage. Why is this happening? Because there is a phase shift, and because of which the total voltage is always greater than the applied voltage. And if you see the circuit here which I have explained, the resistance is 325 ohm, and I have explained this circuit. So we'll now see a practical application of this circuit. So this is the multimeter which I have set up. Now we'll check the voltage across the resistor, and we'll check the voltage across the capacitor. Okay. Now I'll open this circuit. This is a transformer which is changing the 230 volt into a 14 volt AC circuit. Okay. Now I'll start the component. Now you see the resistor voltage value, and the capacitor voltage value. So resistor is close to 13.23 volts, and the capacitor voltage is close to 2.8 volts. You see the value which is coming now is similar to what we have calculated. So if you add these two values, you will see that the value which is coming out across the drops which is coming out is greater than the voltage which is provided by the transformer. So guys, thank you for watching my channel. If you like the idea which I have presented, please like, share and subscribe. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care.